back. I am joined now by Diogo Bolster, the director of Notre Dame's Linked Experimental Ecosystem Facility, also known as D-LEAF. Professor Bolster is also the Frank M. Freeman Collegiate Chair Hydrology Professor. And of course, thank you so much for joining us. Now, the Linked Experimental Ecosystem Facility is quite the mouthful. I said it right, though.
You did.
Can you explain what ND-LEAF is?
So LEAF is this really unique facility that we have. It's embedded in a local county park, St. Pat's County Park, and it's basically a bunch of interconnected streams and ponds and wetlands that we can control and manipulate to conduct some really unique and special experiments. Last summer we had some really exciting stuff happening there where people were looking at the transport of nanoparticles, transport of viruses, nutrients, so that we can better understand how things move in the natural environment. It's also been a really successful partnership with the local county, to foster better relationships with the local community,
Yeah, and what is your role with ND-LEAF?
So I'm the Associate Director of the Notre Dame's Environmental Change Initiative, and under that guise, my primary responsibility is the directorship of ND-LEAF. And
I understand a lot of people talking about this. You have two very special feathered visitors at ND-LEAF. Tell us a little bit about this. A lot of buzz around this.
Yeah. About 3 years ago, we had a pair of bald eagles. They took over a red-tailed tawk's nest, and they've nested there for several years, and it's been really exciting because each year for the last 3 years they successfully fledged an eagle, which has been really special and spectacular.
Special and getting a lot of attention as
well. It
is
getting a lot of attention,
and
yes.
You've been able to get some pretty close-up footage, too, I understand, of the eagles, and that's been pretty exciting for you guys.
Yeah, it has been. About 2 years ago, we managed to install one camera, which got a side view. But just this last fall, we've installed this camera here, which I think you can see right now, which has an overhead view into the nest. And as you can see there, that's a slightly outdated footage, but that's a pair of eggs, which, if you look now, has transformed into those
babies.
Baby
there
eagles.
We go.
There you go.
And can you give us an idea quickly, too, of how rare a nest like this is?
So within St. Joe County, there are two known nests.
Okay.
There's one of them at Potato Creek State Park, and there's this one here. Within Indiana as a whole, I believe there's somewhere between 200 or 300 of these nests. In many ways, it's kind of been it's a real success story. It shows how conservation practice and policy can really, save a species and be successful, because these bald eagles, the cornerstone of the United States, they were threatened and endangered for a long time, and they've been removed from the endangered species list, which is pretty special and spectacular. So it's wonderful to see them thriving, particularly so close to home.
I think that's why there's so much interest as well. And if people want to go and see it, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way of doing it is ndleaf.nde.edu. And while you're there, take a look at the research that we do too.
And what can we expect from the eagles and their parents really in the next few weeks?
So the eagles, we expect, will stay around for about 2 months. They're going to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger, and eventually they'll get too large to actually be in the nest, but they'll still hang around and you'll be able to see them. That's when you'll really be able to take advantage of the side view camera as you see them flying around. And in about 2 months, the parent eagles will probably give them a gentle nudge and say, "You're no longer welcome here, it's time for you to go and make your own homes elsewhere."
And why do you think that this has gained so much attention with the local community and beyond?
I just think it's exciting. I mean, to be perfectly honest, who doesn't? I mean, take a look at them. The baby eaglets, they're adorable, they're cute. Every morning at breakfast, the first thing my two kids want to do is go onto the eagle cam and take a look at it. So it's charming, it's charismatic. I mean, it's amazing the stuff you can see on there. The adult eagles are bringing in all sorts of foods. It's really interesting to see what they're feeding them, how the process works. Even if you go back and just look at the whole thing, the way it happens, I mean, it's beautiful to see a pair of eagles working together to make this all happen together. So it's just one of these things where nature is beautiful, and this is one way to really, be a part of it and live in it.
Be a part of it, and a lot of people embracing it as well. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Professor Bolster. Thank you for joining us here on Notre Dame Day.